There, Richard Keys, good evening to you.
Alexa, stop. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Alexa,
James.
stop. Yeah.
Alexa, turn on.
No, don't. No.
Turn Richard Keys on. Oh, mine's talking to me now. Alexa, stop.
Now look what you've done. Everyone's is talking now.
Now, Richard, you are in Doha, is that right?
That is correct, James. Before we start, can I ask you two questions?
You can.
One, how is your health?
I'm alive.
Two,
actually, at the moment, it's okay. How long it'll last like that, I don't know.
Well, good luck to you.
But I feel fine.
Why does that phone keep doing that? I keep putting that there and I move again. Two, do you know any more about football than you did when you beat my mate Jeff Shreves up in 1999?
No, it doesn't. Less.
Did I? I didn't physically beat him up. Let's get that out of the way now.
No, you didn't.
No, because Jeff's pretty tough. I mean, Jeff would have you.
It was verbally.
It was a verbal beating. We were in Barcelona, and I was listening and watching at the same time. It was fun.
yeah, that was on a No, I know no more about it. I have been to football matches, but don't like to.
He's a big fan of Jack Grealish.
Who is?
Everybody is all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
You do. He's pretending. He's being.
I don't. Who is it?
He's being modest.
I know Malcolm McDonald.
Yeah.
Who's married?
What, the singer?
Malcolm McDonald, of course,
is
married to my old friend Brian Johnson, lead singer of AC/DC's ex-wife.
Yeah, Supermac. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's a very interesting statistic. Yeah.
Lives in Newcastle, and I interviewed him in bed once.
Did you?
In a shop window in Newcastle. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Do you want to tell us any more, or is that the end of the story?
No. It was in full view, and don't start making those sort of. So, do you live over there now permanently or not?
I am delighted to tell you, James. Yes, the UK seems to think I'm in some kind of exile, but I live here permanently. Very, very happy to do so. Life is extremely good to me. What else can I say to you? I mean, at this stage of my life, unlike our mutual friend Eamon Holmes, James, there will come a time when I have to call it a day. At the moment, I'm thoroughly enjoying myself.
Yeah. Poor old Eamon. He'll never stop at the moment. No. Well, he's finding it difficult to get anything at the moment. Maybe he should come out to the Middle East. Maybe he could do something out there. And Eamon's got all kinds of physical.
He's got fingers in pies, hasn't he? Yeah.
Eamon will never stop working. No. That's a fact.
No. Not while Ruth
Well, no,
makes
you
him.
say that. Eamon and I have been friends for a long, long time, and he is finding it difficult at the moment. Seriously, I'm being quite serious about that.
Every time I turn the television on, he's there with another advert. I mean, what do you mean he's
for that leg stimulator.
Well, he's done two adverts, but I mean, and they're about old people not being able to walk very well, so...
he's in the right marketplace. He knows all about that.
Yeah, maybe I could do adverts, Ash.
Yeah, man.
Richard, this whole business about I'm going to get a serious bit out of you before we go back to talking complete and utter nonsense.
Okay.
But the World Cup in Qatar shouldn't be in Qatar, should it?
Yes, of course it should.
Why?
I mean, what you're, if you wanted to speak to somebody to adhere to the narrative, James, then I'm the wrong man. I'm here. I live it. I see it. I touch it. I absorb it. It is going to be the best World Cup of all time.
It is. It's going to be too hot for them to play for a start.
Well, you see that there you go straight away. Yeah. The temperatures this week at Wembley were 31 degrees when England last played. There was a drinks break. The maximum temperature that you will play football in here in November to December in 2022 will be 24 degrees. Yeah. Of course, it's not too. Were we playing in the summer, which the country was all geared up to do, then we would be playing in air-conditioned stadiums, and there really wouldn't be an issue. It'd be a little uncomfortable for those that are making their way around the country between games, granted, but no, it's nonsense. Everything you're going to throw at me now.
Yeah, but they've had to move it because it's so hot when it's meant to be. The World Cup's meant to be in the summer.
Well, when they had to move it, I don't know that they had to move it. It was moved at the behest of FIFA.
Well, it's 45 degrees there in the summer, isn't it? You couldn't
Yeah,
play
it
really.
did, and probably more. Yeah. Probably a little bit more than that. But it was FIFA that
See,
decided
I don't want
move
to
it.
throw. Yeah, I don't want to throw a lot of stuff at you, Richard, because you're a thoroughly good chap. Stop moving your bloody camera all over
I'm
the
trying
place.
to keep it still, and at the other end, someone's moving me around.
Yeah, well, if you just leave it, we'll
Right,
make sure
I'm
you're
there.
in the right place. So we get
Okay.
we want to get the
Perfect, that is
good-looking,
perfect.
suave
Right, that's good.
Richard
Tell your
Keys
guys
on.
to leave it alone. Don't move now. Fine. Hit me with the next
He's got
one.
shorter hair now. I suppose it's hotter.
Has he? Yes, yeah. Well, he's looking. He wants to be more like me. That's why. The biggest. The biggest problem, Richard, the biggest problem I have with football, first of all,
Yes.
the UEFA bunch of are being allowed to come into my country and not having to isolate like everybody else. So that's one thing. I'm not having that, by the way.
Before you tell me the second thing, I concur. I listen. I agree. For me, what's happened here is somebody has whispered in your Prime Minister's ear and said, "Listen, if we play the semi-final and final here, England could win this." I think it's an absolute outrage. Listen, I want to leave here, James, 1 hour after the final game of this tournament. And should I do so, I have to fly back to the UK and lock down in a Holiday Inn Express for 12 days, not 10, one prior to and one after, in order that I can then go and see my family for the first time in a year. Were I a UEFA suit, I could walk in, not have to go through any of that, and leave in good time. And I think it's absolutely wrong.
That's always the way it's
Absolutely
been with
appalling.
FIFA, UEFA, and the Olympic Committee.
Well,
they're
FIFA
like
in the World Cup in
dignitaries.
2012.
They're like politicians. They make real demands. That's the way it is, isn't it, Richard?
Well, don't bow to them.
Well, they won't
Well,
give you the tournament.
You should not bow to them. No, I agree.
I don't.
I think it's
I
absolutely
won't.
wrong. By the way, when the third wave comes in August and September and Boris Johnson's looking around for someone to finger again, he can only at that point have to accept the blame himself, because it is this government's and his decision to flagrantly flout the COVID protocol for UEFA officials to come for the semis and the final.
Richard, the fact is that there won't be a third wave, that we have now vaccinated practically all of the country. Luckily, we withdrew ourselves from the European dictatorship, which couldn't organise a party in a brewery. And,
especially in Qatar.
Now,
you and I, James, were we to have more time, you and I would have a difference of opinion on that. My view on Brexit would be, and it was consistent, better to be inside the tent than outside. And I think in a modern world, the collective is far stronger than the individual.
Complete rubbish. Because they are a dictatorship. Yeah, they're but then you're living in a dictatorship, so you probably like dictatorship. So
no.
I can understand that.
Let me correct you on that. I live in a country whereby I have a great deal more flexibility and freedom to act, behave, speak, and do as I wish than were I to be back in the UK.
James, they're probably standing behind it. We can't see the security.
Right. Yeah.
No, you
okay.
see,
so
again,
do they know about you? Hang on, Richard. Do they know about your proclivities?
My what?
Proclivities? Do they know about your?
How dare you talk about? But
well, I mean, he's probably keeping it quiet, but I think they have really very severe penalties if they found out.
But you see, this again, James. This World Cup will welcome all kinds of different sexualities, creeds, colour. It is going to be a multinational rainbow World Cup. Nobody is barred from Qatar.
In a country that has no respect for human beings whatsoever, that has probably used money to get people there.
Could not be more wrong. That
of course
is
I'm not wrong.
True. The narrative.
So they don't execute homosexuals, Richard, anymore in Qatar?
Of course not. I mean, what
do they do to homosexuals in Qatar?
Absolutely
what do they do?
Nothing at all. Nothing.
They lock them up,
isn't it
and some
illegal,
of them
though?
get executed.
But you see, they don't. All of the experts on Qatar have never been here. I live here. I can tell you now that if it doesn't matter what sexuality you are welcome to visit the country, you are welcome to live in this country, and you are more than welcome to come to the World Cup in this country.
All right, let's just dispel these thoughts, because I am led to believe, I haven't been to Qatar. Nothing would ever get me to go to Saudi Arabia. I mean, a lot of these countries are just appalling in my view, and their treatment of people is appalling too. But you're telling me that it will be fine because when our footballers go there, they will probably take the knee, which is the most ridiculously stupid thing anybody can do. Just shows how thick they are because it is not doing any good. It's just supporting a Marxist organisation. So I'm not happy about that either.
You and I probably would part company on that particular view. I think it is doing some good because we're talking about it. I think it is right and proper that it is a subject that should be aired, and there would be absolutely no problem whatsoever in this country anybody taking the knee were they to wish to do so. Absolutely.
Well, they
not.
better now because
no one knows
if they don't,
what does it mean?
Yeah, it's just a ridiculous thing to do. But okay, I don't want to fall out with you, Richard, because you're so long over there, and I'm hoping that you'll be given permission to come back to this country sometime.
What about the health and safety record?
By the way, the permission for me to come back to that country would be very much in the hands of your government and your Prime Minister. Because no one here is James, seriously, since I came, no one has ever asked me to say anything I didn't want to. No one's ever put me under any undue pressure to say something that I shouldn't. I have a gloriously enjoyable lifestyle, and I'm very grateful to people in this part of the world for offering it to me. This World Cup will be exceptional. No team will have to be...
No, it won't.
Yes, it will.
Because we won't be watching it. We're actually boycotting Qatar. We're not going to watch it. In fact, we think we're going to tell.
Well, you won't watch it anyway, will you? I mean,
seriously, Ash, I'm sorry. What are you boycotting Qatar for? What are the problems?
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it
with this World Cup.
You're not going to watch it.
No, I will.
You said you wouldn't watch it.
No, but I won't like it when I watch it. But the thing is, right? How did they get the World Cup, Qatar? I mean, they're not really a footballing nation. There's only about 300,000 people.
I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how, Ash. Because
money, I imagine.
No, well, you see again. All of those.
Your mind's in the gutter, James.
Look, the bottom line is, this is the first World Cup in the Arab world. Nothing wrong with that at all. No. Unlike that daft song that England continue to play to irritate everybody outside of the borders of England, football does not belong to England. Football belongs to the world.
We invented
and
it.
There's absolutely no reason at all why people in this part of the world should not be able to touch the game in reality, rather than through the medium of radio or television. It is absolutely
but they're not
right
very good
and
at
proper.
it, are they?
Well, James, the National League here is older than the Bundesliga. That's another fact that people are unhappy about because they probably don't know so much about. But it doesn't suit what they've been told. Yes, they are.
So can you drink alcohol Can you go out and drink alcohol, Richard?
In a gay bar in Qatar.
In a gay bar?
Yes.
No, in your own home.
Yes,
but walking down the street.
Were I so inclined to want to go out to drink alcohol in a gay bar,
Is there a gay bar?
I have to say,
no
I haven't gone looking. I haven't gone looking, so I can't.
Go looking to not ask somebody.
But were I to want to do so, that would not be a problem.
What would happen if you went up to a policeman and said, "Do you know if there's any good gay bars around here?"
I suspect he would probably. I hope he would be able to steer me in the right direction were I to do so.
Well, let's find out.
I haven't done that, so I can't honestly answer the question. I don't know.
There's only one way to find out.
Yes. Let's
and
talk again.
What about the health and safety, though? I think 1,000 people have died falling off the stadiums. That is a disgrace, isn't it, the health and safety?
Look, three people have died on World Cup construction at the stadiums.
Are you sure?
36 people contracted to build these stadiums have died off-site. I cannot speak to you about the national mortality rate, but the two things tend to get confused badly. It is not the case that 6,500 people have died building World Cup stadia. It just isn't.
I thought it was 1,000. But
I'm only rushing you on, Richard, because I'm being counted out to the news. You remember what that's like.
Yes, I do.
And so, are women second-class citizens? Do they get told what to do and what to wear when they're out? Or could I go out in my favourite miniskirt?
You could go out in your favourite miniskirt if you so wished.
But your wife couldn't.
Women here, I wouldn't say are second-class citizens. I would say they are first-class citizens because a Qatari household operates around the woman of the house. So again, listen, we haven't got enough time to talk this through seriously.
No.
I hear what you're saying. And I
Later.
understand what you're saying because that is what you've been told by the Daily Mail is the case. But it just isn't. In reality, it is some distance